Be quiet. I think there's a ghost about. It's very stormy tonight. I can hear the wind, the rain on the window. It's quite nice. Can you hear that? Well, probably can't. You can probably hear the heating coming on. The boiler, I mean. But you probably can't hear the rain. Unfortunately. Hello, Kango Fango. Hello, Mr. W. Yes, yo, same. It's also pouring where I am. That does not surprise me. So, hello, Slavic Eagle. How are you? And that goes for everyone else too, if you can respond. Hello, and Mr. W. Right, so, game development. Ghostly Venture. Yes, Ghostly Venture. I've already started Unity in the background, so let's switch over to it. I have done quite a bit of work on the first creature in the game. However, I won't show you it now. I know you want to see it. I know you want to see what I've done, but it doesn't, well, for one thing, it doesn't have any textures yet. It's not fully modeled yet, and the AI of it doesn't really work yet. At the moment, it's just kind of aimlessly wandering around. Yes. This is really nice. Nice and quiet. Quick, I need an industry for my late 1800s route. Search for small warehouse. That could be good. Shadows, multiple industries. Of course. Forestry basic. In a desert. Well, could you show us the silhouette? No. Or just a wireframe in Blender? Nope. Creature 01.exe is in early alpha. Well, I can tell you the name. I think I already told you the name last stream of the stream before, I'm not sure. The name is Dark Snatcher. Yes. Someone clipped that in one of the previous streams. Cactus Forestry? Lol. You already did. The Dark Snatcher. Yeah, I know I did. So, if you're ready, which I sincerely hope you are, for if you are not, well, then you'll either be scared or bored. Or maybe both. But if you are ready, then you're hopefully going to have some fun. So, let's switch over. Here we go. Night Eater. That sounds like a Terraria enemy. Silently holds up green flag. Yeah. So, one thing I have done, which I can show you, is, well, actually, let me disable the random position on this. Yes, it does, Charlize. Sure. So, if I equip matches, and I light all of the braziers, then the portal will appear. Right, so here we go, last one. There you go, the portal's appeared. And it does face the player. You can see I walk around it and I can't see it from the side. However, it only faces the player on the turning around the vertical axis, so it doesn't tilt. So if I jump up like this, you can see that it's still a flat portal. Which does mean if I go into it like this, you can see that it flips direction like that. Which you won't be able to see in-game, because in-game, if you go into it, now it would transition load to the next level, so that's not an issue. And yes, I'm quite happy with how this turned out. It might not be finished, I mean the portal itself, the particle effect, because, I mean, this is only the first try of it. Sometimes things work out well on the first try, sometimes they don't. Yeah. Alright, the tire thing, yeah. Yay. I would turn it by 90 degrees though, so that the particles start appearing at the bottom when it spawns. No, I think it's good if they appear in the sky. Looks good. Good. So, what is the next thing we should do? Well, okay. So what elements do we have? I have. Okay, you can walk around. You've got an inventory that's working. You've got stackable items. I've got the portals that can spawn. The portal ring thing, which can spawn randomly. The gate that can be activated. So the next things would be for the functionality that the gates at the 4 cardinal directions have. That functionality to be transferred over to the actual gate, so that you can actually load the next level by going into the gate, and then also implementing some method of finding the gate more easily, which I've already got an idea of what I want to do. So, level gate, what did this script do? Oh right, I've got to increase the size again. Is that good, this size, like this? Is this good, or is it too small? The bracers, yes. Just waiting for you to respond about the size of the text. One step bigger, like this. Is that good? If possible, it is possible. Good. Yes, thank you. Sure. Right. So, yeah, we can use this script. I'll disable the gates that are at the edge of the map, and instead I'll give the portal object. Actually, can I simulate particles? Well, no. Anyway, yes, so I'm going to give the portal object a collider instead. So just sort of about there, that's good. So, right, let's go here, add a component, physics. Let's do a box collider. Right, now, let's move this, what was it, like 2.5, 3 meters up? Probably more 2.5. Actually, 2.75. No, 2.7. And as for the size on the x-axis, let's do 5. Y, 5 as well. Z, or Z, let's do 0.5. Let's make this a trigger. And let's put on the level gate script. And I'll disable it so that it's not going to appear in the same spot. Does making the text bigger increase the size of something in the game? No, making the text bigger just means that people are going to be able to read what I'm typing on a smaller screen. Yes. No, it's just for editing. It's just the script editing software. Then what's the point of making it bigger? Bigger, damn it. For people watching the stream on small displays. So that it's more readable. Yes, indeed. So let's try this again. Now if I enter the portal, so it's not here at the moment, so I can just walk straight through it. Now if I light all the bracers and enter the portal, it should reload the level, which is sort of the functionality which will then change into loading the next level. So, are you up for a monumental experiment in the arts of science and magic and alchemy and all that other sort of thing? For we shall transcend dimension, we shall reload the level. And it works. Great. What will you need to light the torches again? Matchsticks, yes. I think a sound effect would be good when the portal opens. Oh yes, definitely. There will definitely be a sound when the portal opens. However, I want to get more of the basics done before I start implementing sounds. Yeah, definitely. Woohoo! Yes. So, what's next? Next would be to make it so the portal is more easily found. So, what I'm thinking is to have little... Since it's a ghostly game, I was thinking to have these small apparitions that kind of float across the map towards the gates. So they float across the map toward the gates. When they reach the braziers, the braziers, they disappear. So that if you're wandering around and you see a light floating around, then you can follow that light because it's going in the direction of the exit. I don't want to put in too many because I may want to add items that you can get which will help you find the braziers as well. But just so that you're not going to wander around for ages, that might be a good solution. Snap, I wonder when the key will exit its brick stage. I don't know if it will. Are you planning to put any secret references? Or maybe Easter eggs such as secret items, endings, rooms, etc.? Maybe a story that is far more subtle than the main plot? Oh, of course. Of course I will. Most probably. Yes, indeed. So, right, let's put in just a normal object moving towards the gate. And then if this time, we can give it an animation as well. So, make people theorize, damn it. That is not up to me. So, let's just call it, Gate Spirit. Right. Actually, that's always good. 200 side plots later. Indeed. So, here we go. Let's just give the Gate Spirit a... Well, let's just give it a capsule. Just so we can see it moving around. Just like this. Let's give this a prefab. Well, let's make it a creature, why not? Here we are. Now, let's see, walking AI. This is the basic walking AI script that I've written. What does it do? Right, so it gives a random position and then it goes there. Right, so I can just slightly adapt the script. So that I have a drop down to select whether there's just a random walking AI or whether it is a spirit gate, which will always go to the gate. So let's do that. For that, I'll need an enum. Let's do, which stands for enumerator. Enum. Let's do walking types. Why not? And let's do random. Well, let's just do random. And let's do spirit. Well, yeah. Spirit. No, let's do gate spirit. Gate spirit. There we go. Yeah, that can be a problem. Don't get carried away. What's the most outlandish media theory, games, TV shows, films, etc., that you've heard of, which makes bizarre logical sense? Okay, here's one. In Star Trek, here's the theory, that in Star Trek First Contact, the Borg go back in time knowing that they will fail in assimilating Earth, knowing that they will be destroyed and stopped, to set in motion events which will lead to the Federation's founding, which will lead to Voyager going into the Delta Quadrant, which will lead to Voyager developing a biological torpedo for the Borg to use against species 8472. That is a kind of bizarre theory, because in the series there's nothing that hints to this. However, it would fill some plot holes. So it does make bizarre sense. That's an interesting one, I think. Why does it that goes there? Even though the Guardian of Evergrowth, who we know is always telling the truth, has explicitly told us that there won't be any ghosts in the Temple of 1000 Nightmares dimension. Minus it does. Alright. Why is that ghost there? Right, that makes much more sense. Is that an actual one? Because if so, I don't get the reference. I just came up with it right then and there. Nice work. Sounds genuine. My pleasure. Wow. Fundy just went from 599 viewers to 13.9k real quick. I guess so. Ooh. In my recommended channels for some reason. Yeah, it's in there. I have no idea why. Alright, never heard of him. Yeah. So, got these two. Now I need a drop down in the inspector to select which one of these two walking types this is, or the instance of the script will be. So public type, walking types, variable name, walking type. So if it is a starting position, we can always set size mod is fine. That's good. So here we go. In start, if this is a random walking AI, then we need to set a new wander position. So if walking type is equal to walking types dot random, then we do this. Else if, instead you realize I've only got two options at the moment, so I don't really need to use else if, but I may add more later, so I'll just prepare for that right now. So else if walking type is equal to walking types dot gate spirit, then I need to set the wander destination, wander dest, is equal to, wait, does it have a, actually I can just do gate and that should be fine. Actually, let's try this, is equal to game object dot find gate dot transform dot position, and then wanderdest dot, actually yeah, so this will set the position, the destination, the wander destination, the destination that it moves it at, to gate. Now in update I'm already setting the y position of this vector, because a vector 3 is a position in three-dimensional space. Well, position or direction also, but in this case it's a position. So you've got the x-axis, the y-axis, and the z-axis. In Unity, y is up and down, z or z is forward and backward. So the way this works is, at the moment, the walking eye always moves closer to its destination every frame. If the destination is above it, then it would try to move up to it, and gravity would pull it down, so that wouldn't work. I just wanted to go to that position on the X and Z axes, which means I need to ignore Y. So what I do here is every frame, it changes the Y coordinate that it's supposed to move to its own Y coordinate, which means it will move 0 units in that direction because it's already there. The difference is 0, so it doesn't move there, which means I've essentially eliminated it from the equation. So this down here, this bit, gives the AI a new random position to walk towards when it's within 3 meters of its current position, walking position. For the random walking AI, this is fine, this is what I want. But for the gate spirit, I want it to disappear, or preferably teleport somewhere else randomly. So let's put this in the same if statement from before. So you can just copy this. If the walking AI type is random, then we do this. Else if the walking type is gate spirit, then let's just reset its position. We can set a random position later on, but for the purposes of testing, let's just reset its position. So transform.position is equal to starting position. Starting position is a variable I have up here, which I set to the object's position in the first frame that it runs. Right, so this should... No, this is wrong. What have I done here? No, it isn't wrong. It was right. It was just on the different thing. Actually, no. Let's do it the other way around. Let's put it in here so that I only have to have the distance check once. Because if you look here, this is where I'm checking for the distance. If I have this inside of the walking AI check script, then I would need to check for the distance again every time basically for every type of walking AI. This way, I check for the distance once, and then if it's within the distance to its destination, then it will do something depending on what type of walking AI it is, which means I don't need this. Right? What did I delete before? Did I? No, that's okay. I do not need that down there. Right. I really wish you could disable the recommended channel section. Yeah. Probably my favorite game. My favorite goes to something like this. I can put links in Discord if you want. Mort from the Madagascar series is an eldritch horror that has dreamt up the whole series of Madagascar and inserted himself into it. Ah. Well, it would make sense considering that he's made himself extraordinarily cute. If you were to create your own world, that's probably something you'd do. Is it really that much of a big deal? Not really, but I'd still disable it if they gave me the option. Meh. Also, that'd be interesting. Link in Discord would be nice. Yeah, feel free to post it if you want. You're not in the users in chat view, by the way. Yeah, it doesn't work sometimes. It's not very reliable. No idea how I can change that. Shadows. Will the gate spirits get a sound too? Probably. For example, something like the stream's title. Woo. No, I think probably more like a little bell or something like that, or a little sparkly sound. I was thinking more of an echoey groan, or that. No, I don't want these to be too scary. I want these to be something positive, because they're supposed to lead the player. If I want the player to go close to something, I don't want to play scary sounds when they do, because then they'll think it's a danger and they won't go close to it. Since this is supposed to help the player, I'll try to make it sound friendly and not in an overly creepy way. because when you're making a game, you always have to put yourself in the mindset of the players and think not only what will the players do, but what will the players think, and how will that affect what they do afterwards. Right. Just to be curious, what's the age rating probably going to be on this game? This game? I'd say probably all ages. Probably. I mean, there's not going to be any sort of gore or anything like that in there. It's just going to be a bit creepy. Maybe some unintentional jump scares, but I'd have to go through the age restrictions specifically, but I'd say that suitable for all ages, really. Although if you're going to play it, if you're younger than 5, you may want parental guidance. Although that's just me conjecturing. I don't know yet. In ghost years or in human years? Boo. Charlize, how about the summoner sounds from Ghost Mansions? Not for that. Oh, so the ghosts are friendly? Well, that ghost, the gate spirit, yes. Brrr. Yes, I know. I think they're just spirits, not ghosts. The gate spirit, yes. So, right. What is next? Okay, well, next let's try and see if it works. We don't get any errors, that's a good sign. Let's just move the gate spirit over here. Then give it the walking AI script and give it a rigid body, which just enables physics for the object and frees its rotation along anything but the... Well, let's freeze all of its rotation. Right. Let's try and see if it... Actually, no, it won't, because I don't give it a speed. So, it is gate spirit type, size... Well, let's just keep the size at 1. Walking speed, let's do 1 as well, I guess. 1 radius doesn't matter, 1 destination doesn't matter. Ground, let's do ground like that. And let's see if it can... Oh, that is... Ah, right, I see what I've done. I've accidentally left this enabled. So we fell into the portal, reloading the level. And yeah, it is moving quite slowly towards the gate. Let's speed this up a bit. Let's do walking speed 5, maybe. Okay, so it's walking, walking, walking. Right, and as it gets close, right, so it teleports back to its original position when it gets close to the gate. That is good. Let's just have a look at what this looks like in-game. So you can see, there it is. It's walking here, and disappears as soon as it gets close to the gate. Good. Right, so it works. Now, let's make it so that after it goes into, well, after it reaches the gate, so that it spawns at a random position. Now, what is the size of each terrain again? Let's see. The size was, 200 meters. That's good. So it would be 300 meters, 300 meters distance. Right. So instead of it resetting its position, let's do transform position is equal to... Oh, where did I put it? It should be down here somewhere. Random units, random dot inside unit sphere times 300. So what this does, random dot inside unit sphere, is it is a function, a built-in function, which will get a random position inside of one unit sphere, basically. So it goes from negative 0.5 to positive 0.5 along every axis, but keeps the position inside of a sphere. if I multiply that by a number, I can increase the size of the sphere that I want to get a random position in. In this case, since each terrain is 200 by 200 meters, and I've got a 9 by 9 grid of them, the distance from the center to the edge is 300 meters. So if the random sphere is 1 meter, I scale it up by 300, I should be able to get a random position anywhere inside of a circle, well, a sphere that is as big as the play area. Now this does give a random position along the y-axis as well. Actually, that's a good point, because if I just flatten the y-axis, then it will become more likely for it to spawn in the center than further outward. That may be a thing I need to look into, but this should give a random position for it to spawn at. Let's just give the gate spirit a tag so I can see it more easily. Let's just make it blue. Well, yeah, sure, let's make it blue. And let's see if it works. I'll increase the speed to maybe 15. So if you look up here, oops, wrong thing. Should be like this. Right, so you can see the gate spirit moves there, and it's despawned, and it's spawned over there. So let's just watch this for a little while. Oh, but it does still fall. Oh, right, that is the thing I need to fix. It does. Right. That may be a thing I need to fix. But yeah, it seems to work. It seems to work. Mostly. Although, yeah, it definitely seems like it's likelier for it to spawn closer in, which makes sense if it's a sphere that's just squashed down. Right. So, okay, so instead of using unit sphere, let's just do a normal random range thing. New vector 3 random dot range between -300 and 300, and then let's do that on the z-axis as well. So on y, let's just do 10. Why not? Y a lot. Yeah. And then on the z-axis as well, which now means, well, I can increase the speed again. Let's try speed of 25. That should speed up a lot. Yeah, so now it should spawn equally along the edges as it does near the center. So while this is going, let's read some more chat. I just want to see how it works, or if there's some bug with it. Robin Hood, we don't get any arrows. That's fine. Shadows, so will the gate spirits also just be particle systems? Well, maybe. Probably an animated particle system. Is there a difference between the two? I think spirit might be more like a soul of someone who's died, and I'd say ghost is the body that the spirit then possesses? No. I'd say a ghost is someone who's died but not gone to the afterlife. A spirit is just any the essence of something that is alive, whether that manifests as consciousness inside of a body, or whether it apparates as a glowing light, or whether the spirit possesses a creepy doll. The spirit, I think, is more, well, traditionally in stories, a spirit is just the essence of life. Like, for example, in a lot of cultures, there are river spirits, so that a river has its own spirit, or that, for example, fire has a spirit. Yeah, there's a spirit of fire, or things like that. Yeah, which aren't people who've died. No, it's just a source of life. But there's definitely a difference between the two. Because, for example, a lot of fey creatures, so like fairies, elves, kobolds, things like that, could potentially be described as spirits, depending on how they manifest, maybe. So, yeah. I think. But surely a ghost is non-collidable too, and isn't a body. Well, if a ghost is non-collidable, but... so it doesn't interact physically, but it does still walk, how does that work? It has to collide with the floor, and if it collides with the floor, it can collide with other things. It's... yeah. Yeah, true. I meant like the form the spirit has. The shape. I don't mean body, you're right. I think so, anyway. Will the gate spirits properly work on the hill tiles too? Yeah, they will. They've got a rigid body and a collider, and they spawn 10 meters in the air and then fall down and then go to wherever they're supposed to go. Maybe I'll make it so that they spawn right on the ground, depending on how I want them, what I want it to look like when they appear. Shreddies, how large do you think the maps will be in this game, and what will the borders look like? Large? I'd say sort of this size, so 600 by 600 meters is a pretty good size. If in future level types I want to increase or decrease the size, then I'll do that. But for now, that is it. The borders, I don't know yet. I've got a few ideas floating around, but nothing definite yet. So the ghosts in Ghost Mansions were normal people before? Well, not necessarily, because it does say ghosted mansions. However, the ghosts, well, it could be a case of mistaken identity. So spirit and soul are similar things. I would say yes. Most ghosts are. Yeah, kelpies are shape-shifting water spirits. Interesting. True. About the ghosts. They don't walk. They float, of course. Yes, but in a lot of fiction, ghosts walk. You hear chains rattling in the corridor. A ghostly figure walks along it, eerily white and translucent, shining as though light is emanating from it, but there is no source of light. That is the description of a ghost. But it walks. You can hear footsteps. Haunting of Hill House? Well, I'm going to touch on that while I continue working, because well, I guess you know why. So, right, we've got the AI for it down. How quickly should I make it, by the way? How quick is this? That is way too quick. Let's say 10 maybe. I think 10 is also too quick. Let's try 5. Okay, let's keep it at 5 for now. Right, so Haunting of Hill House is very interesting. I think that Haunting of Hill House, it's the... well, actually, I want to work on something specific. I want to figure out what I want to work on before I get sidetracked into that. So, I've got the thing. It moves around. Now let's do the effect. I would like to have a flare effect. And I think I've got a script to fix that, because there's an issue with it with the size, but let's try that. So create an empty. As for this thing, let's just put it on the ignore acast layer, the capsule I mean, right? Empty game object, oh that's the prefab, alright that's fine. Actually editing the prefab, and I can't seem to get it out, strange. Oh right, of course, because, yeah, I need to apply it first, because the empty object isn't part of the prefab yet. So let's do that, call that flare, and let's just leave it on the default layer. And now if I add a effects lens flare, let's just give it a height of, well, height of 2 maybe. And actually for the capsule, let's disable the mesh renderer, so it's only got the collider. Now for the flare, there are some flares that are installed already, these that come with Unity. Let's just try mountain glare. Oh, that mountain glare, that comes from the Skybox pack. Oh, that's interesting. So the thing is, with these flares, that if you go further away, they don't change their size. So if you're close, they're very small. If you go further away, they get larger. Actually, I've changed my mind. I want to use a different flare. Let's just use a flare small, and you can make your own ones. So yeah, the size stays constant no matter how far away you are. So there is a okay, let me look up in the scripting reference the properties of flare. So let's do lens flare. Flare. Right, so flare has flare class has no properties. It is set up. You can reference flares. Okay. Sign them. Right. So we've got. It says the flare class has no properties. Inherited members properties. But yeah, that's inherited. It's fine. Interesting. It doesn't have a size. Maybe. Right, lens flare, not flare. It should be lens flare. Maybe if I do it one word. Nope. Lens flare. I want to go in this one. Right, this is the one I wanted. Lens flare. You can see that somewhere there should be a size modifier. Brightness, strength of flare, color, speed, flare, the asset to use. These are all the component things. Let's see. Yeah, I think it should be brightness. Because, yeah, so you can see, oh, is it brightness? Ah, no, this is what I wanted. The flare asset has a size property. Now, if I can change the size property via script, which I should be able to, then I can make it so that the size doesn't remain constant. So let's try that. Let's just try it. Let's put on a new script. Let's call it flare flare scaler. Let's put this on. Oh, I need to wait for it to compile first. I can rechat. Why not? Right, Haunting of Hill House. Sorry, I completely forgot. Yeah, Haunting of Hill House. I think there is no ghost in Haunting of Hill House. I think that in Haunting of Hill House, the house itself has a spirit, its own life force, its own spirit. And because it's been abandoned for so many years, the house itself has grown bitter and resentful and angry and hungry. So when people visit, when people go there, the house's spirit itself manifests in the construction of the house, in the architecture, the layout of the corridors changing, wrapping around, sounds being created, apparitions. I think the house itself is the ghost, is the spirit. At least that's what I think. Although I have only watched the film, and it's a great film. Or not. Yes, but I'm not talking about fiction. I am talking about real. Oh, the footsteps are just the remainder of the sounds from their life in the past. Well, then why does the sound change depending on what surface they walk on? Speedy Ghost Zales. Creepy, low-pitched and echoey. Arriba, arriba. Yeah. Ghostly flamenco guitar. Ooh. Oh no, I'm late. Oh, hello, Chris. Welcome. This stream is going till 10, so there's still a lot of time. Hey, hello, yes, welcome. Oh, that's the why not. All right, nice. All right, you win. Oh, I'll still give you first prize though. Should I import the legacy lens flares pack for Unity? Maybe. Bless you. Thanks. Don't make the joke. I'm taking 0th place though. Joke? What joke? I thought you were going to say something like, but I didn't sneeze. Alright. Oh, dash it. That would have been a good one. Shays, will the gate spirits have the same colors as the gate? No. Too little too late, dog. I guess so, dog. Call it the determination save point Undertale reference. Yes. Interesting. Ugh. Why ugh? Megalovania intensifies. Shays, sounds kinda like Monster House. It does a bit, although Haunting of Hill House is much, much older. It was originally a novel, and then there was an old black and white film adaptation, and other sources have definitely taken inspiration from it. Some more blatantly than others. Dog. Shadai's house has its own spirit, so like in The Shining? Well, no. In The Shining, the hotel was built on sacred Indian burial ground. So African-American burial ground. So in the film it is... I've only seen the film. In the film it is hinted at that the spirits of the people, the ghosts of the people who are buried there, are angry that their sacred ground has been defiled in this way by the hotel being built there, and that's why they're haunting it. That's why that evil is there, which is why it wants to take revenge. Although I haven't read any theories or things like that about it. The house itself becomes sentient. Yes, I know that film. I have seen it once. Dawag. Sure. I am the X event. Oh, well, nice to meet you. I'm the Q event. I am the Y event. I am the Z event. Haha. What is that? Is that... Oh, right. Yeah. Here's the origin. Nice. Also, do you realize that you've got caps lock on? Sans, I guess, if that's his name. Oh, right. Probably is. What book would you like to be made into a film? That is a good question, which I'll answer shortly. Yes, that's another Sans called Cross Sans or X-Event Sans. Interesting. San Francisco. Yeah. Comic Sans. That's where the name comes from. Anyway. Right. So, lens flare. Lens flare lowercase. Then we need to reference it. Then we need to have a... Actually, it's a bit strange. Because... Or is that just flare? Right, I see. Lens flare is the component. And flare is the object. Like the thing. So, as a book into a film, I would probably say some of the Star Trek and Doctor Who fan fiction. I've only read snippets of things, but some of those books are really very good, and I would like to see faithful film adaptations of those. So, yeah, there you go. Because if the things that fans write, like if fans of a specific franchise take the time to write an entire novel, an entire book about whatever the thing is, which they're likely not going to be able to earn money from because of copyright reasons, then they probably know what the fan base wants. So if it's a faithful adaptation of that, then it will likely not disappoint. Right, now let me actually get some coding done, and then I'll re-chat again. So, what do we need to do? I need to get a reference of lens flare. So, lens flare is equal to get component. Yes, lens flare. And flare is equal to lens flare dot flare. Flare. And then I'll just try to set the size of the flare to something ridiculous like 100 so that I can see if it actually works. Size is equal to 100. Oh, there's an error. Oh, did I misspell? No. Already defines a member of start. Where? This is line 16, which is... Oh, right! This is supposed to be update. Haha. Now, still an error. Lens flare is not going to be found. Okay, what is it called then? This is the flare component. This lens flare component. It's just called lens. Oh, right, of course. There's no E. Lens flare. Haha. Right. The name lens flare does not exist in the current context because I haven't replaced that. That's fine. Oh, and down here as well. Flare does not contain a definition for size. Size. Okay, well, what's it called then? The property for it. It does say size. Maybe this is a different thing then? Flare, object source, lens flare component. Texture. Flare scene, reference. Okay. From inside the component. So I've got a reference to the component. Well, that is really strange. Well, let's just search for it. Unity flare size script. Script. Let's see. Maybe it is brightness, the thing I'm looking for. Okay, well, let's try brightness. So we've got a component to lens flare. Let's do lens flare dot brightness. That's correct, I think. Yes, it was. Let's just try setting that to 100. It did change it to 100. That's good. So, okay, let's see. Well, let's make it dependent on the camera. So let's get a reference to the camera, which is, well, let's do transform. Transform main cam. Main cam is equal to camera dot main, which is just the camera asset that has the main tag. So then the brightness should be equal to, well, let's just try vector 3 dot distance between transform dot position with a lowercase t and the main cam dot position, which is, oh, it's an error. Oh, right, because of course I need to do dot transform. There we go. Now let's see what this will change it to. Let's try it from this point of view. Where is it? Oh, there it is. So yeah, it is very, very bright. And yeah, the further away I get, the brighter it becomes. You can see how bright it is now. However, if I get closer to it, it should become less bright. Yeah, it does become less bright the closer I get to it, but it's not what I'm looking for. Does this have a size component? Yes or no? No, it does not. Lens flare dot size. Does that have a... Why doesn't that have... Actually, wait, what did that say? Why can't I access that? That is so strange. Let me just read chat for a little bit. Yes, that's another... Right. Never heard of the chap. Why? Jeez, I'd spell it as lens flare, though. Yeah, you're right. No, I'll do you one better. Rainbow Comic Sans. Instead of lens flare. Oh, that's a good choice. Thanks. Have you heard of Trevor Henderson, aka Slimy Swamp Ghost from Twitter? Nope, I haven't. Originator of Siren Head? At least I don't think so. Oh, right. I think, or Found Footage Art. I think I have heard of him then, yes. Might not be right. Hang on. It does ring a bell. Yes, it is. I've checked. Boom. Good. Whoop. Chalice, you've replaced it now. Lens, yeah. They look very realistic. Yes. Let's E. Looks beautiful. Do any of you know Glitch Tale? Nope. Not sure. Heard of it? Is it like a parody of Undertale? I think it's an Undertale fan game. Might be wrong. It's a fan series of Undertale. Exactly. Good. So, why can I not access this? Lens was worked by containing several flare elements in a single texture. Within the flare, you can pick and choose which elements. Okay, what type of asset is it? So, if I go into other... Actually, no, I can just select these ones. So, this is of type flare. Oh, right, I see. It's the elements that have the size. Oh, of course. Yeah, it's not the actual object that has the size, because if you look here, the elements, which are the different textures, they each have a size position. So I need to loop through those and set the size of those. That makes sense. So for loop, don't need that. It's a bit of a roundabout way of doing it. Int I is equal to 0, I less than, well, let's bring back the flare reference variable. Flare is equal to lens flare dot flare, which means that here I can just do flare. So I do less than flare dot. It's just called elements dot, I think it's an array, so it would be length, then I plus plus, and then flare dot size, no, flare dot elements index of I dot size is equal to well, let's just leave it like this. I know this will not work. Also, it does not contain a definition for elements. Of course it doesn't. Did I not? Oh, image elements. No, not image elements. It is. Are they uppercase variables? This is line 20, which is this one. Maybe it's uppercase E? Nope. Flare textures. Oh, maybe it's flare textures. That would make sense. Is there a scripting reference for this? Hopefully there is. Let's just do flare texture. Nope. Okay, let me see if I can find a oops, didn't mean to switch to that. There we go. Let's see if I can find a reference to this in the actual script. So flare, this is what it uses. Flare asset, which leads to this, which is not what I need. This is, however, it's really very, very strange. Okay, maybe some of us actually also see. Oh, flare asset. Oh, that's that lens flare class. Yeah, that's not what I want to use. Okay, let's search for it. Unity flare size script. Maybe this. Maybe I can find. I think that's what I searched for before. Lens flare size. So size visualization scripting. Not the brightness. Actual flare. I know it's possible to change the strength of flare, the color of the brightness of flare. I think that you would want. Yeah, but render settings.flare strength isn't. That changes them everywhere, I think. The first one affects all. Yeah, all flares. Can you just access lens flare scripting component to change the flare asset size? I know. Can I awesome? Let's see. Okay, well, what do these say? Are these just links to lensflare.flare, which is this, which has the property flare elements on a single texture. Yeah. But what are the actual variables? What the variable names? That is what I'm interested in. I put elements. The number of flare elements included in the flare. Exactly. That's what I want. Flare. Or maybe it's elements. Did I accidentally type? Nope. I did type elements. And the thing is, even with elements typed like this, it still says error on line 20. Flare does not contain a definition for elements. Which means... Is this wrong? In YouTube, okay, there's a Western cover of it. Actually good. I think Sherry did an oopsie. Really? What? There are really loud wind gusts where I am. Very fitting. Yes. One way of putting it. Flare sprite, flare image. I don't think so. Well, outside of where I'm not actually sitting in the wind right now. Hey guys, I dare you to draw this. I'm not drawing at the moment. Oh, we playing Truth or Dare now? Must have missed the announcement of the game starting. Don't give him the idea. Ugh. Yeah, alright, I won't. Jokes aside though, I don't think it'll be too hard to draw it. When I read your message, I thought it'd be an extremely detailed sketch or something with millions of strokes. Yeah. Okay, let's see. The strange thing is, it just says elements in here. What if I click open? I can't open it, okay. What if I click here? That just brings me back to this. And those are different things. If I mouse over this, the individual flare elements. I have no idea what I should do with this. Texture layout, how the individual flare elements images are laid out. Nope. Flare texture, no. A texture containing images used. No, that's just where we get the elements from. Fade, zoom, rotate, position. I think elements is the correct thing, but for some reason it's just not finding it. Okay. Yeah, and it wouldn't change anyways. Let's see, does anyone else have a... What is this? I think that those variables are private. I can't access those probably. Maybe you'd need to something like using it to engines of flares. Maybe. Although if it defines the component flare, it should really find the variables as well. Okay, well, let's see. Well, let's do some debugging. So, let's just instead print flare.name. Let's see what that spits out. So we're using flare small at the moment. Let's see what comes up over here. Flare small, yeah. So we are accessing the correct flare. We're getting the name, which means that it is probably accessing this component. It says a flare asset. Read more about flare assets in the component reference, which is this one, which is why I wanted to access these things, which I couldn't. The flare has no properties. It needs to be set up in the inspector. You can reference flares and assign them to light at runtime. So the thing is that I don't think I can access those variables. I don't think I can. Because it says it doesn't have any properties, needs to be set up in the inspector. You can reference flares and assign them to a light at runtime. So I can assign them at runtime, but changing them, that is the issue. And these are just static things. Did this have more? Let's see what this is. Say well now Peter when no. That's not what I'm looking for. There aren't any more pages either. Lens flares and ghost. Unity lens flare. What is this? Oh no, that's image effect. That's not what I meant. That's not what I need. Okay, let's just do Unity flare script. Oh, not unite. Unity. Oh, not unit. Unity. Yes, there we go. Flare asset scripting. Is there a reason why? Oh right, there we go. I know we can assign flare property for scripting. Its flare asset in the inspector has lots of properties. I've tried, but I imagine you can update it via reflections if you so desire. I agree, though, first time played with flares. Right. So, it looks like there is no way of accessing those properties of lens flares from the script, which is annoying. But that just means we'll have to make our own flare. We can add our own flare to it. Haha. So we will not need flare scaler, which means I can delete it. And we will not need the flare component. Yeah. So let me read chat, and then I'll get started making my own flare. Where was I? Maybe you'd need something like use. No, I already read that. What hour is it? It's debugging hour. Yep. Isn't there only one flare in the entire scene at the moment? Yes. Right. Right flare. Yeah. I know you're laughing. Shadows. Just a wild guess. Maybe you need a variable of the type flare, which you then need to reference. Maybe you're already doing that. Yeah, I've already had a variable. Unit T. Sounds kind of like sci-fi movie. Yeah. Test. Oh, you're testing the delay, probably. I imagine Shadows playing with Undertale Last Breath. Eh? I imagine Shadows playing Undertale Last Breath. I don't know what Undertale Last Breath is. It's a fan game where Sans refused to die. Oh. Maybe interesting. Shadows, I wasn't laughing, and it wasn't a joke. Really? Instead of right there, it's right flare. That's okay. Why am I starting to miss Flash games now? I haven't played them in years. Would be a good one though. Yeah, Flash isn't really that safe. Yeah. There are a lot of ways that scripts can do stuff with your computer through Flash, which is why they keep patching it, saying they've fixed security risks over and over and over and over and over again, which isn't that good. As you said, after you've put the debug thing in, yes, it's searching for the right flare. Yes, by that I mean it's found the name of the flare I was using, the flare asset, not the flare component. I was referencing that. Like online games where you don't have to log in to anything. Well, I think Flash is going down now. Guess what, guys? Tuesday's gonna be my birthday. Oh, happy birthday then. It doesn't work on macOS anymore. Happy birthday for them then. Yes, nice. Happy birthday in advance. By the way, Chris, is Chris short for Christopher or short for Christine, if you don't mind me asking? Just curious. Then, sure. Probably what mine is. Right, so let's make our own flare. This should be exciting. Billboard renderer. Can I maybe use this? I need a billboard asset. Okay, so let's put it in textures. Let's do flares. And can I create a billboard asset like this? Toolkit, nope. Can I? Anyway, it doesn't matter. Also, I'm not going to use the billboard renderer then in that case. It may only be something that can be generated. It's short for Christian. Okay, thank you very much. Oh, sweet. Flash has already dropped out of support. And happy birthday. I don't know a lot of the story, only that it's going down. Yeah, it is already down. It's down already. It appears back from the shadows from the wild for a split second before it slinks back into the darkness. I know. Yeah, well. So, let's get going. Right. Flares. Let's create a new image. Here we go. Oh, well, I was going to make my own flare, but maybe a particle system would be better. A particle system may just be the easier solution, which I probably should have done from the start. I wanted to have a nice flare, but if I made my own flare, then I would need to change the actual positions of the objects as it moved, which wouldn't be that good. So let's just try a particle system. Let's just do start speed 0, renderer. Let's try just a glow. Maybe just try something like this. Emission, well, shape. Let's do sphere, radius 0.5. Let's do, well, it needs to be world space. Scaling mode, no, not scaling mode. Simulation space, world space. And color of a lifetime, which is here. Not that one, this one. Let's make it so that it is transparent in the beginning, and so that it also slowly fades out. And let's make it a blue, just sort of like this. And I don't think this is actually the best image for it. So let's maybe use different one. This one probably. That's probably fine. Let's see what this would look like. Let's apply this into play mode. Actually, I'd need to put it in full screen. Not exactly what I'm looking for. Well, maybe they don't. Maybe local space would be better. Oh, that could be interesting. Maybe something like this would be good. And then maybe if I didn't have a sphere, maybe instead I had a box, but changed the dimensions of the box so that it is, well, not like this. I meant more like this sort of. Maybe that could be interesting. Sorry, need a bit of water. Yeah, so just this basically. So that if you're walking around, you're trying to look for the pot, you can see, oh, there's one of those back there. And of course, I do want to animate it, so it's not just moving statically like this, but it's actually floating around. So maybe a little spot would be better. But so then you can follow it, and then you see, oh, back there, oh, that's where the circle is. Something like that, I mean. In which case, it actually may be better to have a sphere after all. Maybe this would be good. Kind of this vague, glowing thing. Did it fall through the ground? I think it fell through the ground. I think it fell through the ground again because it's spawning in it's spawning in hills. So let's actually put the script that puts it onto the ground here, which is snap to ground, ground layer, ground. There we go. This should fix it. There we go. So this sort of thing, only I wanted it to be more of a glowing thing, like it had to actually have a flare. Oh, that was a bit strange. You could see it falling back there. So you can see, imagine you're playing the game, then you just look over there and oh, there's a thing there. A little glowing thing. And it won't be moving this smoothly, it will be a bit more animated, like dancing around a bit in the air. It's moving about. You can see, oh, then you maybe follow it if it's moving somewhere. And then eventually it will lead you to the gate, which will be good. Also, I may need to make another layer for it, because at this point the player collides with it, which I do not want. So let's go into project settings. Actually, no. I need to go into layers first. Edit layers. Let's do pass. Yeah, let's just do pass, because you can pass through things on that layer. Let's put this on the layer of... Oh, did it? Oh no, I accidentally made a tag. I did not mean to put a tag. I thought I was... Oh right, because it's using the same... of course, it's using the same window now. So the two lists are on the same thing. So let's do pass here. Let's put it on layer pass. Yes, change children. Apply. And now if I go into project settings, physics, I can make it so that on this little table down here, I can make it so that the default layer here, this default layer does not interact with pass, which means, well, I can't do that actually because, no, it does not, actually player, yes. The pass layer does not interact with player, which is Okay, the player is not player layer. That's fun to say. Which means the player collides with the ground, and so will the other object. But so this does collide with the ground, but if you look here, it goes right through the player. You can see I can run right through it. Well, it did disappear just now, but I can run right through it, which is good. It's very good. I could technically make it so that it also goes through, merges through trees and not through the ground, but I think it's good if it collides with the trees as well. Oh, it's back there. I mean, that is quite nice, isn't it? Just a little light floating through the forest. Anyway, let's do the animation. Right, so should I do it in Unity? Yeah, sure, let's do it in Unity. So, let's go to the animation tab, and I do realize my face cam will be in front of it, so you won't be able to see a bit of what I'm doing here. However, yeah, that's not really much I can do about it. It's short of disabling the camera. There's not that much on that side anyway. Character and scene creators especially. I can't draw to save my life, so that used to be the only way I could physically make it. Might be an app to download or something though. For what do you mean? The Truck Loader series on Flash was really fun for the most part, but yeah, it was on Flash and I haven't played them in ages, or even thought of them. What do you guys prefer? McDonald's, Burger King, Jack in the Box, Wendy's, or Sonic's Drive-In? Neither of them. None of them. Really. Jack in the Box. Well, out of all of those, I think I would prefer a Jack in the Box to any of the other ones. It's basically a 2D view, side view game where you can load. Yeah, I know what that is. Only have McDonald's, but okay. Magnet arm follows. Okay, yes, I remember that. Physics puzzle game. Nice. Oh no, please remove it. Reminds me of the dead light from it. I don't know what you mean, Chris. Looks quite good, I think. Thanks. Does this ring a bell? Yeah. Trainmania. Oh no, please remove it. It reminds me of the dead lights from it. What do you mean? It reminds me of the dead lights from it. I don't know what you mean, sorry. Could you please elaborate on that, Chris? Where the cargo had to stay in the carriages. You're kinda right. I've only seen the 90s one. 1990s. Sure it is. Looks nice, yes. Yes, the 90s one. I know that. The one that reminds me. I don't know what you mean. I do not know what you mean. Oh, don't. It just makes me sad. Don't what? Remind you of those games? Yes. Sure is. Will the Brazers get an extra 2? Probably yes. Alright, I won't. The lovely memories. Sure is. Maybe add a halo to it? Probably yes. Sure is. And it should fade out instead of disappearing just like gas. Clap that. Yeah, I'll probably spawn another particle effect when it gets there. Yes, that's very good, Sharice. That it collides with trees. Yes, I love it. Nah, mate, looks like a dead light, not a normal light. Do you mean that thing? What do you mean, a dead light? It's supposed to be a spirit. So-called gate spirit, leading the player to the circle of Brazers. Wendy's, XD. Yeah, I don't prefer those either. I don't know how far back it is. I'm just listening, lol. Oh, well then it's very, very far back, because if you're only listening, which by the way is perfectly fine, then, yeah, things may not be that up to date. Also, hello, Slovak Eagle. Thank you for listening in. Right, Shadows. Oh, It! The 1990 movie. Oh! Evil clown creature, ring a bell, Pennywise. Yeah, I know. But why would this thing remind you of it? I don't know. If you feel like you want to elaborate on that, please do. But of course. Right, so let's create an animation for it. I need to create the actual animation, so let's create a new folder. Animations. Yes. Let's do Gate Spirit. And it's automatically put an animator on here, which is great. And it's created the animator in here, which is also great. Because the way this works is you have to have an animator, which then controls which animation is played. So let's add a property. I would have transform position. Yes. I'll have a keyframe in the beginning here. And since it's going to move forwards, well, okay, so this is in seconds. So in half a second, actually let's delete those again. In half a second, I want it to have moved down and a bit forward. Then let me add a keyframe. Then in another half second, it's strange, does it work like that? Oh no, it's, of course, it's not, that's strange. Oh, of course, it's, yeah, I get what I mean, I get what it does. So something sort of like this, moving a bit over here again, inserting a keyframe, then going another 30 into it, moving back a bit, going over like that, going in it like this, then going into like 2 seconds, and going a bit further down, going a bit backwards, going in like that, then let's go into 30, just moves forward, up, and a bit to the side, put that keyframe in, then I'll copy this keyframe and paste it in here. So now let's see what this animation looks like. Yeah, it is a bit too fast, but I can change that in the... Right, so if I stop it, right, so here it goes from there to there. So I want it to go to a bit further back first. So here, I want to go this way and sort of low down, so like this. Let's see what this looks like. Yeah, it's still very fast, which is okay. It's okay. So this, if I switch over to the animator, you can see it's already put in the animation here. And let's do a speed 0.1, so it's a 10th of the speed. And for the actual animation, loop time's on, that's good. So, well, this should be it. So let's see what it looks like. Which will mean that it may be able to phase through objects. That's a bit concerning, the way that didn't really work just then. No, this is too slow now. Let's do... sorry, I need to go into the animator. Let's try 0.4. There we go. Need a bit of a better run up really to be able to see it. Oh, there we go. It's back there. Showcase the deadlights when it opens up. Oh, right. Oh, now I remember. The thing where I got grey hair from it. The really bright lights, blindingly bright lights. Oh, I see. Yeah, like this is more what I was thinking of. Although I think it's still a bit too slow for the speed that it's moving at. I think it would be better if it was animating a bit faster. So let's instead make it, say, 0.6. Which is the number is just basically a multiplier for how fast it's animating the animation. Of it, yeah. I think that's better. You can see, just like that. That looks better. Look, you can see the little light over there. You can see it's just kind of waving about a bit. You can see. It's kind of like changing direction almost in some way. So it's not going in a straight line. I think maybe even increase the speed, maybe just by a tenth more. So 0.7 might be good. And swoop, it's gone. Right, so let's just do 0.7, give it one more test, and then we'll see what we can do next. No, that is 7, not 0.7. Haha. Okay, let's... Oh, it's spawned back there. Good. Yeah, because I want it to be clearly visible that it's moving about, even from a distance. So like this kind of. And I can even extend the animation a bit more so that it doesn't repeat as often. I think this is probably good speed for the animation. Yeah, it looks lively. Right, so next thing's next, which is I want to add a, actually let's call this particle. Well, particles. I want to add a light. Yeah, I want to add a light to it. Point light, should be fine. How far up is this? Alright, that's the animated one, so I'll parent it to that. So like this. Point light. So I want mode real time. Let's do range 3. And let's give it a very bluish color. Now let's see what this looks like. I'll need to enable lighting first, of course. Yeah, this sort of thing. Maybe increase the intensity a little bit, maybe 1.5 instead. You can see like this, so that when it goes closer and further away to the ground, you can see the light shining on it more or less. Right. Next thing I want to do is I want to give it a halo. Not a religious one, just an effect. So if we're going to, I think it's an effects, isn't it? No, that's event, sorry, effects. Halo, there we go. Let's make the size smaller, maybe to just about like this. And let's make it blue, of course. I want to make it quite dim. So maybe just sort of like this. If I increase the size a little bit. So like that maybe, that could be good. Yeah, it just gives a little bit of an effect. So just so you can see the difference, this is the difference. Thinking about that, this is probably too green. This is better. Right, now, here's a test. I'll overwrite this. I'll spawn in like 20 of them, and we can just sit back and have a look at what it will look like. Ah, there they go. And by the way, the reason why they are thrown that far away is because of the rigid bodies if they spawn inside each other. Yes, so there you go. I may make it so that the animation isn't synchronized, which might be good. Actually, why not? Just for effect, let's light some of the braziers. Oh right, did I not have... Oh right, I must have used them. Oh right, of course, because I used the braziers beforehand. Then I went into the portal, which of course saved the state, which meant that it saved me having used the matches, which is why I didn't have enough to light all of them now. Of course. So let's just read chat. Yeah. And I don't even have to go to Chattanooga for it. So the deadlights are lights that you are not supposed to look. If you look, you will be insane, be in a coma or die instantly. Yeah. Should I just maybe make it a bit slower, the animation? Yes. Should I just maybe make the animation randomly reversed every time it loops? Well, I don't think so. Maybe, but I'm not convinced. So speed -8. It's the modifier for it at the moment is 0.7, as an example. Watch it at 4:18, because that's the main scene of the deadlights. Yeah, I have seen it. I remember what it looks like. I just didn't remember that thing in it was called deadlights. And since in your original messages you spelled it lowercase, I was just very confused by it because I didn't recognize it as the name. I know the scene. XD, very nice, yes. Halo 2, and then we're dusted. Yes, here we go. Ooh, lovely. Should I maybe also add halos for the flames? Yes, the flame effects are not permanent. They will change. Chattanooga. Brilliant. Thank you very much. Oh, 5 people watching. Hello, 5 people who seem to be watching for some reason. Yes. We can pass right through them. I mean, just imagine like a cute little high-pitched bell sound if you get close to them. I'm really happy with how these turned out. Although it does look a bit creepy as they're coming out of the woods, doesn't it? I'm thinking yes, it does. Right. Can it be the deadlight sounds? Ooh, yes. What were the deadlight sounds instead of bells? I don't remember what the deadlight sounds were. Exactly. But no, I wanted to feel more like a fey creature. Watch the video. Alright, just for reference, I'll do it. That. So I mean, sort of the dimensional rift, energy plasma sound thing. Or do you mean the song? No, I don't think that would be fitting in this case. I don't think so. Watch the video. Oh yes, to show this. Oh yes, to what you said. With them coming out of the woods. Ah yes, that it is a bit creepy. It's a bit creepy. Right. So, what do we do next? Okay, let's start the let's make it so it starts at a random point along its cycle. So is there, I'm guessing there is a time variable somewhere. I can set when to start an animation. Let's see. Animator. Properties, avatar, body. Oh right, this is the animator component, right? Yes. Right, so let's see if there's a time. Playback time, there we go. Starts the playback position in the recording buffer. Sets the playback position in the recording buffer. Right, is that what I want? When in playback mode, see start playback, this value is used for controlling the current playback position in the buffer in seconds. The value can range between recorder start time and recorder stop time. See also start playback, stop playback. Is this what I want? Not entirely convinced. But we can have a look at it. Oh right, I quit the script accidentally. Let's make a new script for this. Let's do random. Oh, let's do random anim start time. Let's assign this to the main object. Let's open it up. There we go. First, I need a reference to the animator. So, public animator anim void start anim dot playback time is equal to, let's just say, random dot range between 0f and 3f, which means it's a float. Let's see if this does anything. Oh right, of course. So it's actually a good thing that I've got all of these things here animating, because now, actually no, I need to put in the reference. Now, if I apply this, if it works, the animations should no longer be synchronized. Oh, that is weird. That is very weird. They do still look very synchronized to me. Yeah, they are. And they do all have that script on it. Yes, and it has the animator, so that does not work the way I think it does. Start. Okay, well, let's see what this does. Sets the animator in recording mode. Oh, this is recording, right? It's top playback. Sets the animator in playback mode. It's probably already in playback mode. Okay. Unity start animation time. Animation stage.time, that's what I want. How does this work? If the... Alright, so anyways... Oh, animation. What is animation? Right, of course, the animation component. Well, we can do that. We can do that. So instead of it being an animator component, maybe put in the animation component, which should be in miscellaneous? animation, which if I only do gate spirit, animation clip in here, animations 1? Or, no, I'm guessing I don't need that. Ah, but I can't change the time of it. No, that I don't want that then. Here we are, this is what I want. Oh, this is interesting. State name. Okay, animator.play. State name hash, if we need that. Layer. Ah, this is what we need. This is what we need. So, right. Okay, so anim.play, and then the hash, well, the code of the animation is 0, the layer is -1, the default, and the time is this. That hopefully should work. Let's apply it again. Oh, it's already applied, that's fine. Right, let's see if this works. Oh, and it does! Look at it! Run! You can see they're no longer synchronized. That's good. Still a bit creepy though. Right. Oh, this has a lot of forest. That's nice. Let's just keep an eye on this. Right. So let me read chat again. The deadlight sounds like a low-pitched B. I wouldn't describe it exactly like that, but I can see what you mean. Ah yes, shadows. How many fake creatures will there be, do you think? Oh, I don't know, a few dozen, probably. In the game. Ooh, XDDDD, ha 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 ha. Did you see that, Snowy Eagle? I'm clipping it. What would you guys do if the deadlights existed? Okay, so the thing is, Slovak Eagle just only heard me reading that out, so he didn't read you typing that probably. He didn't read that typing it. So, Slovak Eagle, look at the clip. Didn't see it. What would you guys do if the deadlights existed? Well, they do, don't they? Well, I'd probably not even know about it. For tangential furry worm WT Rook. Strange. Name? It's not the name of it. It's just bouncy balls, I think. Yay, run! Okay, I will look at the clip. Good. And we've reached the end of the stream. Oh, I think this could be quite a good thumbnail. Something like this, just the lights. Ooh. Not sure how large it will be on the... I might need to zoom in. Okay, I'll look at that link. What is it? 418, you said. Oh, right, this. I see. The sound. Yeah, that's what I remembered it sounding like. To me, there are many more metallic sounds in there, and like fizzes and like electrical sounds like that a bit, which I wouldn't say it sounds like a slow motion bee, because with the bee it's like individual flaps of the wings, which, well, yeah, like that, but the body of the bee does actually squish while it's flying like this, which is, it's a whole different thing. Why? Sure it is. The clip titles are always made up of random words. I know. Yeah, maybe in the woods. Maybe. Actually, let's wait until I've got a... Oh, I was about to say one that spawns in the woods, but there we go. Got one. Just look at them. They all got ejected upwards. There they go. Oh, there are a lot of them in the woods back there. Anyway, I think this should be good enough as a thumbnail. Right, so. Maybe this, actually. Right, let's stop it there. Oh, it's exactly 10 o'clock. That worked out well. Don't need this anymore. Switch over. And yes. Lol, that clip. Yeah, exactly. My little Western Railroad is 4 miles long now. Oh, congratulations. That's actually quite the achievement for the first day of working in a railway, in trains. My little... right. It's nice, isn't it? Oh, lovely. Yep. I'm hoping for like 20 miles total. That's a good length. Trace. Got one. Exactly, I get the reference. Eh? It's snowing, lol. Yeah. What a weather, eh? Lol. Right. So, that's the stream over. Well, I'll read that. Why not? Now for the weather segment. This evening we're expecting a lot of gate spirits in the chance of mild ghost tornadoes. Exactly. What time does your stream start at Saturday in Brazil time? I don't know. I only know in Greenwich Mean Time and in Central European Time. You'd have to convert it yourself. Sorry, 2 hours ago. Yes, exactly. You can do it just like that. 2 hours ago. But on Saturday, it starts 1 hour earlier. So actually, because on Saturday it's... Well, no, later. On Saturday... Okay. On Saturday and Tuesday, it's UK time from 9 till 11. Which means that on Saturday, the stream will have started for you an hour ago now. And will go until 1 hour later. So 1 hour from now. So, yes, basically imagine now being in the center of the stream. If you've watched the whole stream on Saturday or Tuesday, you would have watched either it like Pacific time? No, before that. What time do you use? I use Greenwich Mean Time. UK time, as it were. 1 hour later, like Pacific time? Yes. What type do you use? GMT. Yes. UK time. Exactly. That's exactly what I meant. So, oh, by the way, in chat there, Chris's name is green. On screen, it's red. Just so you know. So, shoutouts. Kangafango. Yes. He does OMSI2 map development, Trains map development. He also streams American Truck Simulator, Exploring Colorado DLC. He streams on Sunday. Sliver Eagle, who's in chat, who's the last one who posted when I started that sentence, he is part of the Central Europe development team, which also includes the Branded K on Twitch and Swedar Gaming, a few others as well. Sliver Eagle and Brand also stream on Twitch, driving games, trains, map development, that sort of thing, when the internet works. So yes, if you check the Twitch schedule, you can see the time in your time zone. Exactly, I always forget about that. Thank you for mentioning that. For me, he's the same color as me. Yes, Shout Eyes, thanks for the shout out. Oi, who shouted me out? Oh, it was yourself. Yes, definitely not me. XD. Okay, so now that we're actually let's call us Cradle, of course. So now that we have finished our lesson in game development, let us end the stream. So, good night. Cheers for the stream. Bye. Bye. Yes, bye. Thank you very much for joining, if I didn't say that. And this stream will be archived. So, bye, thanks, bye. Of course, bye. Yes, bye. Gonna sit here for a few seconds in silence so that people can catch up with the end of the stream.